I heard about the Meriwether retreat from an event I was at. I met Warren, and then I started to follow the Meriwether Academy social media. And I saw they were planning canoe trips, doing philosophy symposiums, things like that. And so that's what really sparked my interest. I saw they were doing retreats, getting out in nature. So it sparked my interest. Yeah, so I think, what's missing from society that Meriwether brings to the table is, it is all male. And I think it's a foregone conclusion that masculinity is being attacked. To be able to confront that and talk about it. And I think what it really, for me, when I was there, what it boiled down to is maybe society is doing this. Okay, fine. But what am I doing in my own life to combat that? I'm in sales, my everyday life, I'm meeting a lot of people. And those conversations, typically sports, weather, family, things like that. Even sometimes when we meet up with friends or go to gatherings or barbecues, sometimes it can just be like sports or news or things like that. And what was great about it is, everyone there, it was because they wanted to be there. They have an interest in learning more about philosophy and history and theology. And so when you put people like that in a room, and then you can talk about current events, you can talk about your life. Everyone is constantly looking to the future. And it's cool when you can sit with a group of guys who are very knowledgeable about the past, and to be able to apply that to our lives now is a super interesting way to think about it. One, some of the speakers that were there, they were very knowledgeable. I heard about like Lewis and Clark and their expedition, but didn't know the history of it. And also getting into the founding fathers, and there was a little bit of AI and the future and getting out in nature. Really, it was coupling all of that together and just getting out with guys that like to talk philosophy, can talk different theologies, things like that. So I looked further into it, and the more I looked and asked around about it, the more I realized I wanted to go. Yeah, so I think, all of us growing up as Americans, we sort of learn, the basic history of the founding fathers. And what was surprising to me is, and it just clicked, that I never really realized the relationships that they had with each other. And so it was actually pretty funny being able to hear some of the stories of how they interacted, and some of them didn't like each other, and some of those stories that went along. Honestly, I had no idea. Coming from people who were very knowledgeable on the subject, it was actually pretty cool. There was a lake, so I got to jump in the lake multiple times. That's what I did in the morning. The food was incredible. It was all from a local farm. It was cooked for us, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Honestly, it was great. We got to sit down and do these Jeffersonian dinners, and all the food was there. It was fantastic, honestly. I'm already thinking about when I can go back. I would absolutely attend again, being able to talk to, a group of guys who share similar values. For me, I definitely am going again. So I've been, and I'm going again. I can say that's about the best review I could give you. And I look forward to, attending every year or however often it happens, and going some of the other trips. I mean, now I'm even, looking into, they're having philosophy symposiums that I can join, things like that. And so I'm also looking to join those as well as things progress. When I was at the symposium, Warren made a statement about who do you admire? And, he talked about the people around him that he admired. After I left and got to meet all these men from different walks of life, highly intelligent, highly knowledgeable, I realized how much I admired them. And then I've began to, form relationships with the people I met on the trip. So if you're thinking about it, stop thinking and do it. It's definitely worth your time and money.